Hey everyone, welcome back to my channel. Hope everyone is well. Thank you for being here with this amazing view. And the sun is shining behind me. I wanted to quickly come on here and, while I was on a walk, I thought that I thought of something and I wasn't really sure what I necessarily wanted to put out there, and the only thing that really speaks to me is on our relationships and our relationship with life, and how our identity sometimes challenges us more than we wanted, more than we ask for. And I really want to kind of share reasons why that happens. First of all, when we talk about our relationship, right? Relationship with life, relationship with people, why sometimes there's a disconnection. Here, let's walk a bit. Why sometimes we experience disconnection with other people and the things that we want to do. First reason is, we don't know where we're headed. We're so disconnected from ourselves in a way where we can't really understand why certain people are behaving the way that they're behaving. Why, we're not maybe attracting the relationships we want. Why maybe in life there's a lot of, misunderstandings, or that we cannot communicate ourselves well. Through the art of our energy moving, that's moving through our body, there's obviously outdated information that's been stuck in an energy in our body for a very long time. When our system is outdated and we're living life from that identity, what can happen is we may attract people that are from that vibration. We're attracting people that are from our past and we're not aware of it. And this is why this is one of the reasons why people are not feeling fulfilled. People are not feeling amazing in their relationships, is because they're putting up a front, right? They're putting up an image of how they are and how they want to be perceived by other people. Through learning about energies, through during my meditations or during my yoga study, I've been learning a lot of things on energy, and how if we're living in our heads constantly thinking our way through life, thinking our way through relationships, we're giving ourselves this image of how things should be versus how our soul wants it to be. Anything that is coming from a soul purpose, or anything that's coming from our logical mind, two different things. They're two opposite things. And people are living their life from the logical, from their heads. In relationships, they're in their heads. In their careers, they're in their heads. The way to get back into our bodies through our breath. Through our breath, and really being intentional, right? So there's this thing I do every single day in the morning, which is setting intention. Setting intention for how my day would look, how I want to feel in the day, and being present. So during my meditations, right, during kind of stillness with myself, there are some insights that come through that is not understood by my logical mind. I don't really understand why things are happening the way it does. My logical mind doesn't get it, but my heart does. And how do we know it's from the heart? It feels good, it feels peaceful. And mind you that when I say feel good, it's not like dopamine high, happy feelings. There is an ease there that can touch your heart. There's peace that comes with it, and there's a sense of knowing. That knowing may look like this feels scary. You may feel the anxiety, or you may feel maybe this unknowing, but you're still wanting to do it. There's a still part of you in your body that's like, yes, I want to do it. Yes, this feels good. Yes, this feels certain. Yes, this feels like myself. And we start losing touch with ourselves when we ignore that, when we ignore the sensations, when we ignore what our body is presenting to us. The only way to move stuck energy and traumas and the way we think and feel about ourselves is through energy, is through movement. And whether it's through yoga, whether it's breath work, any body-based work. Now that I know so much of it, I'm not like a Reiki master or any of that, but I'm currently studying yoga to become a yoga teacher, and there's a lot of things that I've been learning on energy and how like identity shape the way that we are in life. It's okay right now in life if you're feeling a disconnect from people around you. There is nothing wrong with that. It's just that there's a new energy that has been changing in you. There's new energy that's been alchemizing with whatever it is that your highest is calling you for. So instead of demanding more, instead of demanding for something different than what you're feeling now, trust that you're knowing, trust that there is the right things, trust that you're exactly where you're meant to be. And by comparing yourself with how you think you should become by your logical mind, you are disconnecting from who you truly are. You're disconnecting from your calling, from your voice, and that's not a nice place to operate from. So in order to trust that path, in order to trust ourselves, we need to find these feel-good feelings in our body that is coming from ease. It's not stimulated from people, it's not stimulated from outside circumstances, but it's definitely coming from a knowing. And knowing that's like, I know this is scary, I know this feels tough, but regardless, I still choose that path because I trust inside of me that this is the right thing. So if you're going through that and you're asking like, what does that mean, or what does that look like I described, it's related to this that peace we feel within. It's related to that there's a confirmation inside you. There's that voice that keeps continuing and repeating every day. You're listening to that same dialogue, that same inner voice. Sometimes also, I want you to notice that there's a difference between the ego voice, because that can also come in your way of your true self, is that there's this voice of the ego that tells us, hey, this is the right thing, this is what you need to be, this is how you should look at life. But how you can differentiate between that ego and that voice, the inner voice, the truth, your intuition, which is to speak, it's not chaotic. It's very clear. It's crystal clear that when you hear it, you can sense it in your body that this feels ease, this feels comfort, this feels truth. You feel it when maybe you're on walks, maybe you are with other people and there's nothing to put out there, there's no fronts. Maybe when you're having a conversation with someone, you're like, I just feel good. I just feel like I don't have to pretend. I don't have to act differently than the way that I want to in that moment. The ego says, why did you say that? Or I sounded so stupid when I said that. Or what is this person thinking about me? It's always about the self, 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 and consumed by how can I portray myself this way so I'm perceived this way. Trust me that nobody ever connects with you when you're being that. Nobody. The only ones that truly connect with that, with the front, are the people who are putting fronts. Hence why there are people you don't click with, and that's okay. So in years of kind of learning about myself and people, and through therapy and a lot of inner work, I just realized that there are a lot of perceptions and faces we put on to be liked by everyone. We think that we must be liked. We think that it's wrong that someone is disliking us or disapproving of us. So going back to the first point that I spoke about in the beginning, on how we feel that it's through our bodies, sensations. It's no longer I need to be this way, or it's no longer being in my head and stuck in that I have to be perfect. It's no longer questioning. There's clarity in what you're doing. Yes, it may feel like, oh my God, this feels like it's new. Am I sure of this? But your knowing is that it feels this way. I'm facing challenges, but I know it's right. You feel it in your soul. There's clarity, like I said. There's less chaos. There's trust. There's a moment of stillness that you feel. It's like very, very, it's like a straight line that when you're silent, there's nothing that comes through. There's no doubt that comes in and says, hey, this is so wrong. But there's this knowing, like I said. So in trusting ourselves that way, how can we do that in our relationships? How can we do that with the people around us? How can we do it, apply this to our life? How can we add inner peace into our life? How can we add more openness, more receiving? Disconnect from any idea of how you should be, any materialistic things that you think is going to make you perfect and going to, enhance you in a way. You are not more better by more things. You're not more better by more makeup. You're not more better by consuming a lot of things. You're not more better by adding things. You can definitely improve where you are. If you're wanting more stillness, more presence in your life, more intention, relationships in your life, then you got to be that. You got to show that you're that. And while I'm speaking of this, I'm not speaking of perfection here. I'm not speaking about not making mistakes. You can make as much mistakes as you want. And the part of knowing and trusting is saying, heck yes, I'm choosing this because it feels true to me. You find that clarity when you sit enough with yourself, when you make space for your emotions to come through, when you're letting yourself express what you want without tweaking, changing, trying to get things by manipulation, saying things you don't mean just to fill the gaps, or being in rooms that are not great for your growth. You may leave any time you don't feel like this is the right space for me, and you're allowed to walk away from those spaces. So my whole mission, I feel that more and more I'm getting in touch with it. I don't need to go look after it. Whatever it is that I want to follow, I just trust and go. Trust and go. And it might feel also very scary. It might also feel very daunting, or it might feel like, am I doing the right thing? But, as women here, we tend to compare ourselves a lot with everyone. We think we must be this huge figure that is put together that is beautiful, and you don't really need anything to beautify who you are. You don't really need more things to justify how beautiful you are. And I had to go through this experience myself of feeling confident that sure, like there are some outfits and things that make me feel incredible. And I absolutely love doing it. And I love putting on makeup. I love being creative. I like dressing up and looking at myself. And it's just that's a part of knowing and loving yourself. But, it gets very destructive when you start comparing, especially on social media, or when you start to buy more things to prove to yourself that you are good enough, but it's not related to the thing you put. It's related to how you feel within internally. And I get how difficult it is if you're living in a closed-minded environment and you're being challenged by all those people telling you that you need to be that whatever you are, it's not right. Whatever you are is not truthful. And so the one thing I would love for you to take away from this video, just from any content that I share, is if you really want to challenge yourself to go beyond your mind and limitations and beliefs about yourself, you got to step out. You got to say that, yes, this is scary, but I'm going to find the people who are going to support me in that journey. I'm going to find places I can go to connect to what that looks like for me. Because I know that there are a lot out there, maybe you listening, that how do I even do this? How do I even trust myself? Or how do I even tap into my body? Like, what does that feel? It feels so foreign to some of us, and I get it. But for me, I was always this introspective, very deep, right? And I know it in my Virgo, but apart from my sign, I thought that there's something wrong about me thinking that way. But it's not. It's quite the opposite. It's a part of wanting to know myself more. I wanted more clarity, and I wanted to become this person who was aware. And being mindful of how that sometimes can take away your truth, how it can take away from you taking action. Because when you're in this awareness self-development journey, you start to experience that there are some parts of you that come back. There are some parts of you that call in for you to integrate. You can acknowledge that part and say, hey, you know what? You served me in that moment, but right now I choose to move forward. Thank you for being in my life. Thank you for showing up. Thank you for presenting that to me, or else I wouldn't be here. Thank you, thank you, thank you. And acknowledging and being grateful that that thing happened or that part of you showed up. So part of you, which means like maybe people-pleasing patterns, maybe accepting wrong behavior, maybe playing too small, maybe just letting people take advantage or walk all over you. I don't like the word advantage, but letting people just say whatever and no boundaries. So what I realized is that it's so important to acknowledge those parts, even if it was painful, but those parts actually made you stronger than you think. So one thing I would love for you to take away, I'm not sure if I mentioned it earlier, but that you can create that inner peace and knowing for yourself, that you can have that clarity, you can have that awareness. But it really starts with you saying yes, even if you're scared, and finding those people who can hold you in that container. This is why this space is just for this. It's exactly for that, exactly for people who really want to go deep, who really want to understand themselves, who want to understand their relationship with themselves, with other people, and what kind of lifestyle they want to create. Because if you have any unhealthy habit or a lifestyle you're living that is against all that you are, you might not know it. because there's not people that can point out to you what is going wrong and what needs to be fixed. Sometimes we don't really know unless life shows us that, but we need to be open to receive that knowing. We need to be open to understand that certain things happen the way it does because of our actions. So quit blaming, quit saying that it's because of this person, quit saying because of my lifestyle, of my environment. Yes, it adds to that, but I need you to know that you have that capacity to change whatever it is that you're believing about yourself, because it's all a mindset. It's all also energy. So it's mindset and energy, and how you feel about yourself and what you put out there. What's your intention like? So this is really the work, I can talk forever about this and just sit there and tell you all the tips. But you need to decide to let go of the things that you're holding so dearly that that you must let go of. So there's a lot of things I'm going to be working on when it's about mindfulness, energy, and really wanted to share that journey with you. So if any of that resonated, or if there's any feedback, or if there's any experiences that you've been feeling right now and you're wanting to dive deep, you're wanting more awareness, then that coaching space is open for you. It's open to all women who want that inner peace, who want that clarity within themselves, and to trust themselves to create the life that they want. And that comes from creating that inner peace inside of you, that awareness inside of you. So if you're like that, if you're experiencing all the things I talked about, if you're feeling stuck in life, if you're like, I don't know where to begin, then click that link. It's just going to be in the description. If you wanted to go deep, or if you wanted just to have a chat on Instagram, it's open for you. You can just send me a message and we can chat over there, because I know there's more to it. I know there is more to you than your problems and what you're experiencing, and that you're not by yourself. It's just that we create this image in our head. The ego creates this image that we are alone. Nobody else is struggling with this, but everyone is at some point. So I hope this was helpful. Let me know in the comments where you're tuning from, where you are in your, journey in life. If you've experienced any of that, if you're meditating, if you're someone who's into mindfulness, and you want to go deep, then we can definitely have a chat. Just leave a comment down below. So I hope to see you on the next one.